Okay, before I start this list, let's make one thing really clear. I love reviewers and critics, and I have a huge respect for what they do and the effort that they put into their work. From the small funny topics to the large and multi-part videos, each reviewer that is mentioned here is an absolute joy to watch. But there are a few things that keep cropping up in reviewer shows that I wish would just disappear or not be as noticeable. Also, this list is not in any particular order, so number 1 is not necessarily the most annoying thing. I just ordered them for the sake of flow. With that out of the way, let's begin. This is my top 9 most annoying things reviewers do. I'll provide some examples, but I don't think that the people I mention are all good or all bad. Just that there are certain annoying things that have become a standard cliche in reviews in general. Number 9. Long intro song. I love a good intro song, and I will happily sit through intros of my favorite shows over and over again. But I recently noticed that intros for reviewers are less like earworms and more like ear graters. If you're marathoning a reviewer or just watching more and more of their stuff, sometimes the intro song goes on for far too long. For example, I love extra credits, but the original theme song was a bit too long and a bit too glaring. If you follow a reviewer, it can also feel excessive to see an overblown intro every single time. You're already acquainted with the show, and the intro just breaks up the real content from the filler. Again, titles are fun and necessary to introduce new audiences to material, but they can be short and convey the same information. For instance, Extra Credits updated their music to be much shorter, and PBS Idea Channel has a great short bumper to get the point across fast. Long intros are filler for return viewers, and I'm sure some people enjoy seeing new material in intros rather than montages. For instance, JonTron's new intros are done really well and have new pixel art animations that relate to what he's reviewing, and ToddinTheShadows plays a piano rendition of the song that he's reviewing. I think to make the best impact and the maximum enjoyment of content, intros should stay in the 10 to 25 second range. Number 8. Extended skits. Okay, you get it. I don't like filler, so extended skits generally don't add content, just gags and jokes or special guest appearances. They can set up some fan service or context for the reviews, but I find most of them unnecessary. Just make your argument or guest appearance work within the show without drawing attention to acting skills. Hey, theater is fun, but it can add very little to the overall review, especially if it constantly breaks up the review over and over again. But funny people are funny, so skits really highlight their comedic timing and strengths. For others, their analytical abilities are what really shine, and they don't need to dress up their friends like mobsters, monsters, or ghosts to convey ideas. Number 7. Unnecessary plot. Let's get real, people. We watched the videos because we wanted to see a list of the best Power Rangers episodes, or a review of the newest Spider-Man movie. We know we are watching someone do a review on the subject because they want or need to. Having a plot for a review show can at best be amusing and at worst embarrassing and awfully annoying. Seeing a reviewer create unneeded context for a review is passable, but seeing that plot keep popping up during a review really sucks. Some common cliches in the overreaching plot include the following framing devices. 1. I'm stuck here with nothing to do but review things. It's driving me crazy! 2. The great overlord of evil power forced me to review this garbage. I'm a chivalrous hero for doing this. 3. I'm trying to win a bet and prove to my colleagues that they are wrong. Obvious crossover. 4. I'm in an intergalactic battle for good versus evil, and just happen to need to review this made-for-TV movie in order to fuel my warp drive to defeat my evil doppelganger who controls the Cortex Stone. I must transform into the Ultra Super 5. You, my audience, forced me to do this. I'm doing this for you. Are you happy now? You have a review show. You don't need a plot interrupting it over and over. Just review things the way you want to. Making something a quest or a larger battle can really make the experience super childish, and it's annoying week after week. Number 6. Possess technology. This is usually under the "it's trying to destroy me, I need to destroy it" theme. This folds into the last point about creating plot. Very often a piece of media, a book, movie, comic, game, is so bad that it's evil and it's trying to kill or hurt the reviewer. Thus, the reviewer must destroy the physical manifestation by setting it on fire, crushing it, shooting it, etc., etc. This has gotten overdone over the years because the first incarnation of this cliche was actually funny, but it's slowly become a bit too obvious and really embarrassing. Like, yeah, stuff is really bad, but burning the Bratz movie in effigy will not make it stop existing and really doesn't prove any point. The haunted technology trope is also really overdone. Like, really overdone. You can see it miles away and it's not really interesting anymore. More about the so bad it must be burned stuff later in the list. Number 5. It's a recap, not a review. So this is a small subtlety that bothers me. To introduce viewers to the content, reviewers will often cover media step by step, quipping about the intro, specific moments, and going through the entire piece milling for jokes they can make at its expense. Now, what sometimes happens is the reviewer will forget to actually make a review about the media. Instead, they'll make a humorous recap about the music, movie, or game by commenting on everything along the way, but not actually reviewing what they think about the entirety of the experience. So, in a 35-minute video, there might be only 2 to 3 minutes of actual review on the subject. It's possible to do a review and a recap of media at the same time, and not fall into the funny recap with small analysis attached form. You can do a micro-level commentary on what happens and a macro-level review on what did that mean simultaneously. It's just harder to write. Matthewmatosis and Renegade cut do a great job of this, doing a strong recap of the media while actually reviewing what they think of the overall experience. Doing a recap without a real review would be like the Sunday Times reviewing a movie by explaining what happens in great detail and then giving it a C-. Okay, but why? That why is sometimes forgotten in reviews. Number 4. The reviewer gets so confused that they need to do drugs. I call this the what the hell did I just watch cliche, which is usually results in an extreme reaction from the reviewer to convey the WTF, OMG, a cat ate that, what? Followed by a reviewer turning to a bottle of Jack Daniels or nondescript pills to ease the pain, or straight up saying, what drugs were the writers on? I'm gonna be straight with you all. I don't think this cliche works. There's so much crazy shit everywhere, and I love it. I think exposing yourself to things that are initially cringe-inducing, completely weird, nonsensical, or out there really changes how you perceive new media experiences and gives you a higher tolerance for change. I don't subscribe to the idea that because something is different, it needs to be pointed out as different and impossible to enjoy without being intoxicated, brain-dead, or a weirdo. Reviewers defaulting to, what drugs were they on when they made this, or who would enjoy this, cheapens the viewer's interaction with the media and new media in general. I like reviewers showing the clip and just moving on without supplying pretense. Sometimes you just have to look at the stuff yourself and stare.
Get along with the dreamer's dream. You know your culture from your trash. You know your plastic.
The over-reliance of the different is weird and bad and not normal should be reserved for op-ed critics over 50 and other baby boomers. Get over it! In the words of Hotdiggedydemon,
WTF did I just watch?
Number 3. Overused running gags, memes, pop culture references. You know this was gonna be here. Thank God it's getting less mileage nowadays, but yes, let's get it out there. What I have to say about this is that reviewers move fast these days, so it doesn't happen as much anymore, but you can still see the annoying and embarrassing effect it's having on old media. That was on TV. So was this.
Check it out. I'm a meme, get it?
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Number 2. Copycat iconic style. This is simple. If a reviewer is doing something that works, a lot of other reviewers are going to latch onto it. Here's some things I've noticed. Number 1. Using the same yellow text flying on the screen. Number 2. Using the same background, intro style. Number 3. Using the same types of music. Number 4. Adopting the same demeanor as someone else by imitating their voice and joke timing. Number 5. Using the same media franchise in the same way. Did he do Baby Geniuses? Well, I'll do Super Baby Geniuses, and then Super Super Babies. Number 6. Adopting a weird inflection similar to the reviewer's voice. It's understandable that some ideas have legs and will travel through general membrane of culture, and style can be adapted and changed over time. But it's better to focus on your own voice and tempo than mimic someone else's just because they do it well. Your viewers are going to be able to tell, and you can't really just pull one over on the YouTube community. Number 1. Race to the bottom. So this is just an overall trend on online media happening right now. With lists, clickbait, and headlines that just scream to get your attention, reviewers also want to please their fans and get bigger returns on their reviews. So rather than choosing a middle-of-the-road game that many people have forgotten, they choose a critically panned or loathed title to rag on. After many reviewers have done the same thing, they need to find something even lower to degrade themselves with, like these things. But they need to be even lower, the lowest, subject themselves to the worst of the worst possible.
It sucks, man.
But that doesn't necessarily make a good review. Red Letter Media reviews bad movies but tries to find hidden gems, and not just from the obvious, duh, it's terrible. CR from Familiar Faces also highlights forgotten characters, not just the most beloved, well-known ones. Reviewing something that's just okay in an interesting and nuanced way is awesome. Don't copycat others who are trying to reach the bottom of the barrel. Just go for things that you have a real, strong, original opinion about. Nuance is actually really important, and having a particular style and understanding what you want to do with review is way more endearing than just, I want to watch and play and consume the worst of the worst. Everything is either the best or the worst, but the middle ground is huge and there's so much more awesomeness to be explored. Alright, thank you for listening to this very meta review list. I hope this illuminated some tropes that I find annoying and pointed to the direction of how to work around those. Have a good day. Bye!